so we're now monitoring at the correct level, and we're listening to the audio at a volume that we know will enable us to hear all the little sounds and the clips and the background noise and everything. That will be the same as if you're listening in a cinema or at a playback of a film festival, and on TV, of course. Now, the one thing that we have to do is to ensure that we output at the correct loudness level. Many people just try and make it as loud as possible, but that's not what you always want to do. Now that we're listening at the correct volume, we need to make sure that we output at the correct volume. We do this by using a unit called loudness units, or LUFS, loudness units full scale. This is a standard that has been implemented by the Audio Engineering Society and related organisations to ensure that sound remains the same as you swap through channels, as you go from program to program. You're not constantly changing your volume control. And this is measured using loudness units. And there are standards for the cinema, standards for TV, standards for Spotify, Vimeo and YouTube, which are all different. For TV, we use a loudness which is -23 loudness units under 0. 0 is where the sound will distort and you just can't use it. So -23 is the TV level. For things like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube and Vimeo, it's -16, which I find horribly loud. When I listen to YouTube, I have to turn the volume down to virtually nothing because my speakers are set up to listen at a proper volume. So I just have to turn it all the way down. Now, the reason it's so loud is because people are watching films much more on tablets and phones, and so they need to address the fact that they're running them through rubbish speakers. How do we ensure that we're working to the right level? Now, I'm only today going to be working to what is called the EBU R128 standard. This is a standard for TV in Europe. So if you're working for cinema, just look it up. If you're working for Spotify, look it up and just raise the volume. But today we're working to -23. Now over here on my meter, this is set to read loudness units. And there's the magic -23. Okay, so I'm trying to get audio to be around that kind of level there. As you're mixing, you want to be keeping an eye on your meter to ensure it kind of stays roughly around that area. My program here, which is Nuendo 12, has this as part of the setup, but maybe you're using a program that doesn't have a loudness meter. So I would recommend that you download and install a program. This is the free version. This is called Ulean Loudness Meter. I compare it to what the Nuendo one does, and it's just the same. It might be a couple of digits different, but it's something that you can be looking at. There's the magic -23. So if you're working to -23, if your audio is kind of like sitting around there, no matter how you do it, whether you turn things down or up, use compressors or whatever, keep it around the -23. That's suitable for TV. And it's also a level that I use for festivals. Festivals seem to like this kind of sound level. But you would need to look at the specs of any festival that you're entering for to make sure that you're working to the loudness units that they recommend. I'll just play something here.
No.
So you can see it here.
Me. Get out of here. Let me out.
Okay, so you can see that audio is already sort of around the 23,
No.
It's kind of the same.
Help me. Get out of here.
But, so I won't use this because I've already got this, but if you don't have one, this is a great program and it's free. I mean, you can buy the pro version, which makes you cups of tea and things like that. Let's listen to this piece of audio here. Here's one of our female actresses talking.
Oh, cool. Tag me. I'm always trying to get more followers.
Now that's the production audio that I've been sent. As you can see, if we look over here on my meter.
Oh, cool. Tag me. I'm always trying to get more followers.
Right. terribly quiet, at the moment. Now, what a lot of people do to make things louder. Now, I can actually make this louder within this program, but many programs don't allow you to do that. So you've got to make this louder. So what a lot of people do is they do something called normalization. Now, normalization is a good and a bad thing. Here is a piece of audio, and if we play it, we can hear that it starts off quiet.
It's way out of Greg's league, man.
And then it goes loud. And this is just production audio. If we now normalize it, and you can see it goes louder. The way normalizing works is it looks at the sound file, it finds the loudest part of the sound file, then raises the sound file so it is as loud as it can go without it distorting. Super important to understand, because if you already have a loud sound with a louder part within your audio file, it will only raise it by the amount that it can. Okay, so it's not going to raise this stuff and make it loud as this. It's only just going to raise the whole thing up relative to the loudest part. One sound file, like let's look at this. I'll just quickly, look at that. It's made that hugely louder because there was less of, I was going to do that because there wasn't a loud part like this. So it went, I can raise a lot. So you can have files which are going to be loud and soft because it's not going to be uniform throughout all the sound files. So you can use normalization as something to make it a bit louder, but don't rely upon it as something which will level out all your audio and make it all sound the same, because that's not how it works. The kind of way that I might use normalize is literally to make things a bit louder, knowing that it's not leveling it, it's just making it as loud as it can. So I'm just going to undo that again. I would, in this case here, I would look at this and this as two separate things. So I would go here, that's my new version. Look how loud that's made that. And then I'd make this also normalize, new version. And now it makes more sense. Let's listen to this.
It's way out of Greg's league, man.
Oh, got a bit of a click there, haven't we? Because we can see that it's a really bad, sort of cut. So I would just fade that across there.
It's way out of Greg's league, man.
Look, it's all level. Gorgeous. We love it. Okay, let's go back to our file over here. Okay, so here's our voice from, got to put it on solo. Sorry about that.
Oh, cool. Tag me. I'm always trying to get more followers.
Okay, massively quiet. Let's normalize this because it's all fairly, there are no big loud bits here, so it will be fairly kind of consistent here. Okay, so that's normalized it. Let's now listen to this to see what kind of volume we get over here.
Oh, cool. Tag me. I'm always trying to get more followers.
Well, how about that? That's perfect, isn't it? Well, actually, I don't think it sounds very good at all. I think it sounds pretty horrible. So we've got a lot more work to do on this. So,
oh, cool. Tag me. I'm always trying to get more followers.
So we've made it a bit louder. Let's now look at making it less noisy, and let's also take a look at EQing it to make it sound better. At the moment, it's just got that horrible kind of dull sound.